Welcome, this is Splish. I hope you're having a great day and I hope you're gonna enjoy this video. Me going back playing Warface, that was some time ago, but if you have been following me on my channel, you know that I played this game quite some before. And as a sniper foremost, yeah, it's only gonna be sniping in this gameplay. I hope you're gonna enjoy it. Well, then you know, it's a lot of fun. I gotta say, especially now I've been playing modern shooters and quite of them has been disappointments. Then it feels good to be back, you know, playing something that is a bit more old style when it comes to shooter, a bit slower also when it comes to movement and everything. So yeah, we're gonna talk about Warface, and I also of course want to hear from you if you are playing this game or if you have been playing this game. It is a free-to-play, and I would say a free-to-play renowned first-person shooter because the game has been out for a very long time. I remember that it was released back in 2013, and through the years it's been quite a few devs involved in the game, such as Crytek, ADRESS team, Crytek Kiev, Games, and yes, you are playing this game through the My Games launcher. Even though you started up on Steam, that will be the case, but don't worry, it actually works really well. Now the game has aged pretty okay, I would say. If you take a look at the graphics, also saying that it's using the Cry engine, I would say it looks pretty as well. The sounds are okay as well, the mix works fine in my headphones at least, so I would say that the game has been also aging pretty well. It is a game though with microtransactions allowing players to purchase weapons and equipment and also cosmetic gear. The good thing though in this game is of course that it has a certain kind of crossplay, and I say certain because it goes between consoles. So you can play, if you have for example an Xbox One, you and your mate that uses PS4 for the same game, then you're able to play together. It goes actually well between Xbox One, PS4 or PS5, but not when it comes to PC. PC are standalone in this game. It's definitely okay, especially since I have hinted a bit that there's definitely people playing the game still in 2022, and we're getting to that in a second. I also want to mention that this is a class-based game, which I think is a good idea, and it has been working pretty well here, meaning that you can either choose to play as a rifleman, engineer, sniper, SED or medic. And these characters have unique characteristics that will also aid you as a gamer when it comes to surviving. So you advance through these levels, and that goes also when it comes to playing PvE, because the cool thing here is that you can both play PvP as I'm doing here and also PvE, so you have certain missions that you can play almost like campaigns. So there's quite a lot of player value when it comes to this, and I also mentioned when it comes to microtransactions that of course then you will earn Warface dollars in the game, vendor points and also experience points, and these points will be usable by players, so you can buy, as mentioned, new equipment and weapons for their specific character. So when it comes to these multiplayer games that you're watching here, me playing as a sniper, I think I'm using a Barrett in the game. I can't really remember. I was missing my Shaytak, my M200, the intervention. I had it before, but I don't have it any longer. But back to the player value. As mentioned, PvE and PvP, a lot of weapons to choose from and to grind for if you're into that. Hook up with friends if you're playing on consoles. I think that's great, as it should be also with a modern shooter. Remember again, the game was developed in 2013, but they have continued to support the game and they are still doing so. So for me that was also a great, you know, feel coming back to a game and feel that it's, you know, alive and the devs seem to be taking care of the game. Since I'm not playing it on a regular basis nowadays, I would love to hear from you guys that are still playing it, if you agree with me, if it's something that you're missing. Do you get content to keep it interesting? Should it be even more? Because these are very important questions. It has to do with player value, the fact that people are sticking to the game, playing it, but also new players that are getting into the game, also maybe even back to the game. For example, as me right here, been playing it before, been playing other games and now coming back playing it again, stuff like that. But also we've seen it so much nowadays that the games are being stressed, they've been put out there, they're not finished. The game developers are stressing themselves out to actually fix it, to tweak and to patch, and then they also have to think about the new content that is about to come out maybe 1-2 months later or something. So you got to be really careful about this if you're gonna earn the how should I say it, the trust from the community playing the game. So roadmap is important, so you have everything ready when the game comes out, and also what's going to follow later down the line. And I think from what I can see now through the years, Warface has been doing that pretty well. I mean, it's here now and it has survived. And I say survived because I've seen a lot of games being both sunset but also doing really not good after a few years. And most of the time the reason is lack of content and lack of support and love from the studio, and I should say the publisher sometimes, because remember, some studios can't really make their own decisions. It has to be made above their head, so to speak, when it comes to a very powerful publisher that wants things in a certain way. I hope I don't went too far with this, but I think it's a very important discussion, since I strongly believe that FPS gaming the last few years has not been that great, to be honest. And I hope it's gonna improve, and I hope we can see a better year to come when it comes to this year 2022 and also next year 2023. And talking about Warface again and people that are playing it, I am putting up the Steam charts right here. You can see that there's quite a few people playing this. It varies all between like 2,000 to 3,000 people a day on average, and I think that's really good. I was not expecting that. I guess I've been checking out too many games that aren't performing that well, but look at this now. Warface is still popular, and as said before, when I start to sum things up here when it comes to how the game is playing now in 2022 and if it's worth getting into, I would say definitely yes. And also looking now at the player count, definitely shows that you will be able to find matches, you will find people to play together with if that's the case, and so forth. And I think that's beautiful news, especially if you're bored playing whatever you're playing right now. Warface is definitely an option, and it also kind of proves for me that games doesn't have to be so amazing all the time, meaning fantastic graphics and 200 weapons to choose from, and you know, all that stuff that you mainly see in very ambitious shooters nowadays. This game is very straightforward. It's quite casual, especially if you're not playing ranked, and that has to be mentioned as well. You can actually do that. So if you're one of those guys that likes to have really something to play for, then that is also an option. So I want to give this game here in 2022 a big thumb up, even though the thumb has to vibrate a bit, meaning also being able to go down if you consider the fact that there are microtransactions in the game that might affect the gameplay, meaning making it pay to win. I've heard voices saying this, and that is of course unfortunate. I think that was even more back in the days of 2013, 15 and so forth. It's still there in some games. It has to be mentioned, but if you are a good player, you will even so most likely do well in this game and have fun playing it. But I think it has to be said. I also seen other people complaining about not enough support when it comes to Crytek, meaning the devs and the future of the game, as we talked about before. But since I don't play the game that much, please fill in here if you are. I am always eager to have a sort of a discussion in the comments. And talking about that, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. It helps me in the YouTube algorithm. Thanks a lot for watching, and have a really good day. Bye bye.